Welcome to the Justice Gods Among Us podcast, episode 13, I believe. Today I have with me God of Gods.
Hello, guys. It has indeed been a year for me, but I'm back and excited to be here once again.
Yeah, we took a short break after the last episode and before that one, about a year. But,
People didn't notice, no.
no, just a slight hiccup.
Say that, yeah.
Today we have a special guest with us. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name is Mark. My nickname is Keywiz31 usually, and I play Injustice as my main mobile game. I would say have a little channel, with like 400 or something subs, and I enjoy Injustice basically. I'm an enthusiast.
A fellow Injustice enthusiast. Always good to see.
Yeah.
Welcome.
There's not many of them left.
I mean, all of us here, we're condensed.
No, I mean, there's a couple more people, like
Yeah,
at least
certainly.
two.
I mean, in the scope of server, basically.
Yeah, that's basically
It's a
it.
mecca
Yeah.
for them.
If you're serious about the grind, then you can find people there.
Sure.
Anyway, so can you tell us a bit about your channel? Because obviously we don't speak Russian, so
Okay.
we'd like to know what's up and why have you made the channel?
I can actually start from really long ago, because when I started the channel originally, it was on FIFA Mobile. That was, as I've said, Injustice is my main mobile game now, but before it was FIFA Mobile. With years, it came to me that the game was really more targeted to the people who like donate, put real money, and it was really annoying to me because I grinded a lot, but but I couldn't reach the level above, because like there are restrictions to people that do not put money in, and you cannot achieve basically bigger things. And then so I put a lot of videos basically around how to like maximize the efficiency of the account on FIFA, and when I switched to Injustice, I never touched FIFA again from that time. Uh, Played a lot, as I've mentioned to you guys. Played quite a lot to develop my older account that I had before, and one of my videos on the channel was on that account. I basically described what went wrong, maybe why I decided to create the new account that I play on right now, and a little bit of tips here and there. Guys asked me to create a tier list of characters, and I put my thought into it as well. But the main focus is like the diary of the account. I say I try to collect as many rewards as I can throughout the periods of time, and then show it to everyone. How I develop, what gears I use, what gears I promote, characters, and all that stuff basically, as well as packs. Everyone likes gambling, right? Yeah, I actually, when I counted recently, of course you can buy like promote straight some of the characters, and sometimes when I count that I spent like 400 uh, K for one promoted character from packs, it's a little painful. But what now, as I look at it now, I actually try to promote more characters even that I won't use instantly. So I sold most of them before, so it comes with a better value, especially because of a lot of characters are not in the challenge cycle, right? I'd want to have them available for me to play with at a later stage, maybe.
Yeah, that's always smart to not sell them. Yeah.
I can actually say that I made a big mistake because of when I started my account, like on maybe I don't know the first couple of months, there was a pack of Survivor pack with the Doomsday Containment, and I opened it like 6 times to get myself enough copies uh, of Deathstroke, the Arkham Origins Deathstroke.
Yeah.
But I sold the Doomsday every time.
Oh my
And now
god.
I look at it, and man, it's like a terrible way to get 60k coins back. Should have kept him.
Damon Doomsday, one of the best characters in the game.
Actually, I think he's very underrated.
Exactly.
At this point, I think it's not really underrated because the uses of him has grown like so much from all the guides and everyone mentioning how underrated he is. So I'd say he's well rated, just undiscovered.
Yeah, just as you look at him, he's basically got 3 times the resurrection of the 4th world set, and it's better even because it gives more health percentage. Of course, you can promote him to like Elite X and 60. Yeah, and especially like he has basically 3 scimitars as well, spread out. You know, it sounds really good because you can both at the same time use him like as a tank and as a gear shatterer, for example, because he gets that power.
Exactly.
Sounds really good. I'm still waiting because I'm gonna mention it. As my accounts, all of them, both of them, I guess, are pretty young, and I don't have much experience with a lot of cards. I more theoretical, so I never actually used Containment Doomsday, but he seems like he would be someone that would find use, for example, for me, maybe in some abstract build.
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead. What?
You go ahead.
We're in a standoff. Okay, sure. So what have well, I haven't noticed it recently because I haven't played in quite a while, honestly. But the thing I've noticed is that with Batman Ninja Nightwing coming out and all the uses of how good of a tank he can be, especially with the Ninjato he has, I think he's overshadowing in a sort of way the use of Containment Doomsday because there's some builds for Nightwing where he's almost like invincible when every other teammate of his dies. So that's why I think he's more, especially nowadays, he's more underused.
Do you mean Batman Ninja Batman?
No,
Nightwing with the Ninjato.
Yeah, with the Ninjato.
But he's not invulnerable. That's Batman.
Well, yeah, he's not invulnerable, but he's a way better tank in multiplayer matches.
It's really annoying to deal with.
Yeah, especially with the what is it?
Comes in with a super, and you're done.
Yeah, there's basically no damage. It's like unbelievable. I have had so many games just ruined because of him.
Yeah, that's why I use him too.
Well, that's why we hate you.
I mean, you use a special 2 against him, and he ends up with like maybe a third of his health gone and 2 bars of power to fire against you.
Well, you know what the bad thing is? Your character takes more damage than he actually does to Nightwing.
Yeah.
You just end up losing more health than the opponent, so you don't have a good way of dealing with him. Especially if the super doesn't one-shot him, you're just like, especially if with the other teammates of the opponent's team, if they've taken out one of your characters or maybe even 2, you're like basically done. You've basically lost the match.
Yeah, I mean,
and you mentioned this. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Am I going first?
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned the super, and it's hard for him against him to get a super because he drains power obviously on tagging, and if he's matched with, for example, like a Catwoman Batman Ninja, it's even harder to get enough power not to lose it somehow because there are many ways.
Yeah, but why are you using a super?
I mean, against him, no? To deal with as much health as we could, no? I think God of Gods meant that.
Yep.
If I understood him right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure if using a super is worth it most of the time. Especially against a Nightwing should be pretty doable to just get through him with special twos.
Listen here, mister. Not everyone is as good as you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting how good I am.
We'll lose all the power we've built up in like half a second if he tags out. So not many players managed to get like 3 special twos built up.
Yep.
Isn't there an interaction with Master Death Card and Ninjato where you get 2 bars back each time? I think there is.
You're going to complicated levels. I cannot follow.
Okay.
You've gone beyond my expertise.
It's been a year. I'm sorry. Need to shake the
Yeah.
rust off.
It has been a year. Be understanding.
Yeah. Okay, so you started a new account. What's your way of going about it?
Yeah, so I'm gonna just again start with the way my old account was built up, because I started with my friends, and basically the biggest amount of advice I got was from my friends who played like a lot before they involved me, and I was basically asking, like, after each challenge comes out, after each new gear I get, what's the good gear, what's the bad gear, characters, etc. And I didn't actually understand how lucky I got, because from like, I don't know, from like the first month or two, I got from packs only my Jessica Cruz to like Elite 7. And I got her all augmented from the Star Labs, damage, health, all that. Then I did the same to Batman Ninja Batman, to just full Star Labs stats. Elite 7 obviously didn't get them from the pack, but I bought a bunch of copies, right? And then I realized I cannot actually use them in multiplayer because I do not have any other characters that match up with their stats. And it was just in time. I watched a lot of BTCKR like lately, and I mean more late into my progression, because I found their channel and it was a lot of information to consume. And they had a video discussing the MG, like what you call it.
The sheet.
I forgot the word. Yeah, not really, not the sheet.
guide?
The multiplayer like team building guide, where he laid out that the maximum amount of points you get is when your team stats are at the level of 120 combined. And then I thought to myself, I should probably. And the other issue, as I've kind of mentioned already, is that I couldn't play with the cards that I wanted to play with and combine them in some sense that I would want. For example, like I wanted to play Jessica Cruz with New 52 Wonder Woman, but they are a big mismatch in terms of stats on my old account, especially because of the Star Labs and all that. So I couldn't. And then I just thought to myself, yeah, I should probably start again, because it seems like a right time. It seems like I have enough knowledge and experience for me to get a quick start, as well as like do not step on the same mistakes, do not do the same mistakes that I did previously. I'm gonna actually add a little thing. One of the other first characters that I had on the other account was the Blackest Night Martian Manhunter, and I had him with 50% crit chance and like 170% crit damage, which, looking back, is one of the dumbest decisions that I like probably made there, because at least you can see it with like strong stats. Jessica Cruz, right? She's the carry. The Blackest Night Martian Manhunter isn't the carry. It's hard to carry with him. Better use it on someone else.
I mean, I have him crit maxed, so
You probably have a lot of characters crit maxed, so
okay, maybe I do have a couple of characters crit maxed. But I mean, he's just a fun card for me. It's not all about efficiency. Russian Manhunter is maybe not the best special 2 carry, but there's no harm with augmenting him.
Wait,
sorry.
go ahead.
I actually even saw, I think K-Real himself used the Hawk Girl, the Blackest Night Hawk Girl, as his second 2 specialists in his Blackest Night team. So there are at least 2 better options, as the community thinks, like the Hawk Girl, and I think the Batman with his unblockable chance, as well as I think his hits are he hits hard. Just for some reason, it feels like that he deals a lot more damage. I mean, because of probably the fact that he gets more damage with the damaged opponents.
Yeah, and it's only 3 hits.
Yeah, as well as that. Yeah.
Isn't Kirill also Russian, from what I remember?
Yeah. So, we have another guy. I would introduce you to the community, I guess. We have another guy. His name is Steven Games. You might find him, but he has a lot of interest in fightings, like Shadow Fight and Mortal Kombat. I think he's got a lot of content in Mortal Kombat, but he had huge marathons of like 30 days in a row. He played and put out videos on Injustice, but he's not a multiplayer grinder in any sense. I think he's more like casual collector, I guess. And me and K-Real, for our first interaction, I would say, was in this guy's comments. I basically kind of flamed the Steven Games guy because I didn't like how he treated the gears. I put some ironic comment of, you should probably use something else because the stuff you use is useless. And Kirill was basically there as well, just putting some questions and some comments. And then when I created my channel, he shifted over, and I now have a chat, like as I've said already, a couple of new people, a couple of more experienced tenured players, and Kirill is there. He's answering to basically everybody, whoever has a question, even myself. I do not consider myself that experienced. He tells me a lot of things, obviously. So huge respect to him. He's not only a grinder, but he's a big pillar that supports the community, I guess, on our side.
What's he like, if you can, because you can speak Russian together, right?
Yeah.
What's he like in person?
I wouldn't say that we actually like talked about our lives.
Well, I mean, like, how does he come across?
I think he's assertive. He's got his own sense of humor, but I do not think that he's like that talkative, I guess. That he's someone like me. We wouldn't get along in real life. I talk too much for him to handle.
Fair enough.
You guys had your little love story in Steven Games' comments.
I found it. Yeah.
We'll try finding the comment so we can show everyone here. But that was
you won't understand it, but fair. I mean, I basically described. That was a little love-hate, I would say. They flamed me back, which fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Yeah.
Certainly have to defend yourself.
So, I saw you made a tier list, or you were working on a tier list when I checked it out. I see some. I mean, I don't know if God of Gossip has seen it, but I do see some controversial takes.
You can basically open up the last edition. I can tell you that I actually made all 5 videos. It's split up into 5 parts at the same time, but I chopped them to make them more watchable, I guess, because I tried to talk about each character at least a little in depth as I see the characters. So yeah.
The only thing I disagree with, well, there's a lot I disagree with, but the one that hit me personally is Aris in B. Aris is an SS tier. He's the best one yet.
I do
don't know
think
why
he's
they-
S tier.
Probably.
Yeah, he's probably like A tier, honestly. I just really like him. He's like one of my favorite characters ever.
I mean, that's a preference of favorite characters. Actually, I have a question, but we'll save it for later. Because if we look at him fairly, he's a glass cannon, and if we look at glass cannon nukers, I think that like Luchador Bane is better because he's like special one, right? So it's kind of easier to use him, more convenient, I guess, more splash damage, and do not need 2 bars of power, so you can save the second, save one of the gear slots for something like
That's very well.
okay.
That's arguable though, because Ares has the unblockable on his
Yeah,
special,
fair.
but Luchador Bane only has the unblockable if he stuns on Taggin. So he's way risk free because if you also equip him with the Astro Harness, which is like what most people do, he's like the no brain glass cannon that you can use without going wrong that much because he's like super easy to use. There's literally nothing you can do wrong with him.
Yeah, but I mean, it just comes into conversation that I haven't ever used Ares at a decent promotion level, so it's hard for me to judge. I only can judge from the outside. I see the people playing with him, and I'm like jealous because I want to try him too. It's gonna be a lot of times till I can actually try him.
Yeah,
I mean, is this playlist made with just the characters in mind and not really their optimal gearing?
I actually tried to think of a lot of things because obviously, as we as more of experienced players know that basically any character with like 250 crit damage and 50 crit chance and decent gears can be used as a specialist, for example, effectively. But I tried to maybe put into perspective the way how easy are characters to get, how good are their stats. So like economics. Like for example, you can leave your Flashpoint Batman at Elite 5, but for Containment Doomsday you have to promote it to 10, right? And
I don't agree with that, but
as well as that, also the team compositions that certain characters fit in. So for example, like Flashpoint Deathstroke, because of how good the Flashpoint team is, he's a bit higher in the list.
Okay, so what's your justification for putting Luchador Bane in A tier, but well, anyone else in S tier, basically?
I think he competes there with the Arkham Knight with the Batgirl, and Batgirl is so much better, in my opinion. For example, I think Arkham Knight Batgirl is much better.
How so?
I think any Batgirl is much better actually because they have a guaranteed stun in the beginning of a special.
What am I
they're
hearing?
not one shot, but what am I wrong?
I think so.
The problem with the tier list is that you have valued some characters on their own, but then you have valued some other characters in their specific team. So, for example, the Arkham Knight Batgirl, Arkham Knight Batman, Blackest Night The Flash also could be one, Flashpoint Batman. All of these ones, they're obviously great characters, right? But half of these, or maybe even all of them, it's debatable, as I said. They are on their best form when they're in the specific team. So Flashpoint, Blackest Night, Arkham Knight. Whereas Luchador Bane, he's like a standalone character. He's he doesn't get any support from anyone else. So the actual characters, so for example, Batgirl that you said, on her own, she's way worse. On a team, she can be better. But it just comes down to how you have valued and
how you build a team.
Yeah.
How you build? Yeah, how you
I
build
could
the teams
actually
in that way.
counteract that because if you think of an Arkham Knight team, you certainly want to have a Batgirl in there, right? Because she's so useful. She basically lets you make mistakes, and
Yeah.
when something like an Ares or a Lucifer Bane exists, you want to be able to maybe like get hit and still be able to win the game. So I think that like just because of that and that combined with the possible offensive output that Batgirl can provide like that Batgirl, uh, she is so high because of that for me. Like you never see someone build a decent, capable Arkham Knight team without even any Arkham actually team without Batgirl.
Well, the thing is, the same can be argued for Arkham Knight Harley Quinn, which you've included in C tier. She also has the ability to interrupt tag-ins, which is like great for if you have a specialist in your team. I mean, the same thing could be really said for half of these characters because there's some abilities that are truly like game changing, especially John Stewart Green Lantern. He's in D tier, so
Yeah.
it's kind of inconsistent the way you've made the tier list.
Arkham
That's
Harley
the
Quinn
problem.
Arkham Harley Quinn in D tier. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah,
I actually want to use her once I got an idea of her and Sinestro, the antimatter Sinestro. I want to try that, but on the topic of her, I do not like that much characters that you cannot rely on. Like for a meme build, like something with Sinestro antimatter, it's okay. But the difference between Batgirl and Harley Quinn in that case is that you can rely on Batgirl 100%. He always will save one character and then another character. But the Harley Quinn, you never know when she shows up. She's a bit of a mystery in that sense.
Oh right,
She
but
might
I meant
not show
like
up at all.
I meant Arkham Harley Quinn, the bait, not Arkham Knight.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The unblockable chance is just one of the best passives in the game, hands down.
Yep, that's also true. Especially if you pair her with Arkham Knight, the Arkham Knight, I found it's like one of the funnest teams to
Yeah.
use because you can just spam his second special and just unblock everything. It's just pure chaos, and I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Got
really
a
fun
fairly
thing.
strong special too as well. I played with them a lot before. Don't have them now, but use them a lot.
Oh,
So yeah, I mean it's fair. It's fair. Like your argument is absolutely fair because I cannot rate some of the characters, and of course I have my own biases, you know. But I think the difference of the opinions is what is nice. I think someone can relate to whatever points I make about the characters, and other people will, I mean, lean into things that you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it's also
we're
fair to keep in mind
pretty
that
much right in some sense.
yeah, I mean, discussion is always good, and it's good to keep in mind that. I mean, I have played with every character, but I haven't played that much early or mid game with every character, so I'm judging purely from what's the fastest multiplayer team. So I would rate someone like Jessica Cruz not very highly because it's a long special too.
Yep.
But I mean, someone like Bleacher Bane or Prime Ares, I'd say that's a top tier S tier character, just because that's the fastest. Bleacher Bane team is, in my opinion, still the fastest team so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and probably most convenient as well. Easy to use, not much effort.
I think we can all agree that there is no perfect tier list. Well, maybe there might be. Haven't really checked MG's tier list, but from what I hear, it's the closest thing to perfection.
Does he have one?
as well as AGs and who was it? And
Awesome
Ninja Burn, I think.
Ninja, Awesome P. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
Awesome
what
P,
it
yeah.
goes by.
Yeah, both of his names. Yeah, I think these two tier lists are like the closest thing to perfection because you three have probably put the most amount of time in the game. But I mean, for a first attempt in a tier list,
Yep.
it has a good form, should I say, a good shape. There are a few things that needs changing, but for like a big part, it's not entirely wrong. And I mean, you gotta also count that everyone is biased, right? So
Yep.
yeah, just take the tier list with a grain of salt is my advice. For,
Take every tier list with a grain of salt because it's just preference, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I don't want to discuss the tier list forever because I'm sure we could
Yeah.
talk about it for hours. But I mean,
Do you want to address the elephant in the room?
What do you mean?
Yeah, Scopus has left. I'm sure most of our viewers have seen the previous episode that you did with him, but it's been more than a month now, and I think we have seen some of the effects of him actually announcing his hiatus, if you want. I think everything has just slowed down a bit, especially now that it's summer. I think everyone is just taking their time with everything. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed the same thing.
I've really noticed that there's less people playing because for a long time it was just he was playing but no one knew because the leaderboards are hidden and he wasn't really posting any videos or live streaming. So it's basically, well, for most people it hasn't changed much since then. But now he's officially retired, and I mean, yeah, it's the end of an era.
Yeah.
I actually saw K Real in the chat. He posted a video of the Nightscope account
Yeah.
in the leaderboard somewhere high. I don't actually know. It might be a fake or something. Someone named himself after Scopus alternate, but might be actually him.
This season.
I mean, maybe this season, maybe the season before, but really recently.
That's weird.
I mean, he certainly has a lot of fakes, probably. I mean, that was a. I think he said sometime long ago that people created accounts with his name to get him banned or something. So
Yeah, that was a big wave hack.
Yeah. So there are certainly fans and haters.
Yeah. Like 2 to 3 haters. That's it for me.
Yeah.
They are not hating. They are jealous, probably.
I mean, it's like the saying goes: you'll never see a hater doing better than you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It always happens in every aspect of life, and of course in every game. But I mean, it just shows how far his influence reached. He even had hackers going after him.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
Yeah, I would say that I consumed a lot of media, a lot of stuff regarding injustice to learn myself, and I think the way that he described things, he's got a really like good skill of talking. I guess he puts himself as an introvert. I think I heard him say, but he's a really nice character to look up to. I guess he's really pleasing in that sense to watch. Even his live streams, just playing, just casual, and it's nice to hang around. So sad to really see him quit. I hope that he returns in some way, maybe in the future. Maybe with occasional like something videos or streams.
I don't think he's gonna return anytime soon. I mean he's got a family, he's got a job.
Yeah, fair.
Pretty busy job soon. I understand that he probably will return with like maybe a stream or he's played some casually, but we shouldn't expect much.
And we as his fans should also encourage his decision, because I mean he is providing for his family, so I mean how can you actually hate him for it?
I mean, if we talk about this game being rather dead, it feels good for him to break out from this game to achieve bigger things, because he suddenly earned a lot of respect here, and maybe he's reached like the very top, that he's got no more things to do. Yes, so he moves on to bigger things, and like we just applaud him, I guess.
Certainly,
It's,
yeah.
fair enough.
He's a very intelligent guy, and he's definitely achieved a lot more than most of the players here have.
Yep.
He's grinding more than anyone, and he's doing it with a family. So that's doubly impressive.
And he's doing it the most legit way possible.
Yeah, respecting the grind each step of the way.
Yep.
Very impressive, yeah. So we got a comment. I saw a comment last video about someone asking for an all-girl Batman Arkham team, and I saw it, and it reminded me of something I discussed with Awesome P a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago, that an all-girl Batman Arkham team could be really good, because, I mean, he came with the idea of Arkham Knight Harley Quinn, Arkham Knight Batgirl, and Arkham Knight Catwoman. So it's Invincible DOT, and then it's obviously a save from from Batgirl Arkham Knight. And then in between, hoping she won't die, by the way, there could be an interruption from Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. What do you think what do you guys think about that?
If I start, Arkham Knight Catwoman was actually one of the first characters that I got into different promotions on the account I play now, and she, as well as that, she has a 50% crit chance and 250 crit damage, and I think she's really enjoyable to play. She's quick, as well as you mentioned the unreducible, the DOT, but not only that, but I think like her stats balance out the way that her second special is lower damage, right?
Yeah.
Because her stats of damage are higher than her health compared to other characters. And the fact that while the enemy is under bleed effect, they receive more damage.
Yeah.
So if you like finish up your second move on the second character of the opponent, the next special move you use is like 20% damage more. She's like, it sounds really good. I mean, if you don't lose her to like someone like Flashpoint Batman combo, which she would die certainly, because her health.
But she gets saved from the
but she'll come back with 1 HP probably.
Yeah.
So if we avoid that, she's really good actually.
The only weakness is the Blackest Night Flash team, because the opponent could get power and health.
Yeah. But then, okay.
No, you go ahead.
I think I saw a recent video from BDCKR. I mentioned them a lot. Shout out to them. They tried using only super moves against such team, which is overkill. I understand, but it's a way to avoid dealing the DOT to the Blackest Night team.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. When you're doing that, that's gonna take so long. You basically already lost at that point.
Yeah, fair.
If it's gonna take you like 3 minutes to win a match, then what are you even doing?
But if the bonus for the ultimate battle is on the line,
sure.
For now,
that's a different conversation then.
The weird thing I've noticed, because I actually tried playing a couple of times in the past with a DOT team with Catwoman, although it obviously wasn't the same thing we were talking about now, but it was DOT based. I found that I encountered the Blackest Night Flash teams like maybe 3 times more
frequently than I encountered it with like maybe my Flashpoint team or really any other team. So I don't know if the algorithm of the game matches up your team with another team that's advantageous towards yours, but it certainly felt that way. So I don't know.
I don't think they have such an advanced technology to
I
detect
know.
how your
That's-
team is built.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like I was so surprised because I tried to finish a 5 battle. I think it's called the epic battle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I always found one of those teams on either the third or fourth match, and I always just quit the game because I basically rage quit because it was like, what is going on with this? I was just dumbfounded because I've never seen this happen with any other team in my experience.
It could be a matter of getting matched with a certain total team power range. Because I've had the same with, I used a team with, can't remember who, but extremely high stats. I was going for the highest team stats possible. And I played a single match, and it was, the new 52 Shazam Flashpoint team?
Yeah.
It was that team. And then I tried to re-roll it again, and then I played an Ultimate Ladder. 6 out of 7 was the same team.
Oh, God,
Probably not many teams are on that level of stats, right? It's only the top characters, the more recent characters as well.
But it's also like, where's the creativity, guys? There's multiple medals, there's multiple high stat characters. Why only use that team? Think for yourself.
Don't get me started on that, because I see a lot of people who are just so obvious they're cheating, and not only they're cheating, that is annoying to me as a legit player, right? But it's always baffling, because those people that are cheating, they're actually ruining the game for themselves. Like, get that experience of obtaining your first medal, of getting your first medal to Elite 3, right? And you just keep all that, and people have just like level 9 in the multiplayer and have all 3 Elite 7 like medal cards with like level 20 or something. So they obviously didn't even manage to play with them enough to get them to like decent levels. It's just annoying. I think this is the part of why the game is at the kind of at that state, because people, it's so easy to hack, and people got into the the ways of how to hack the game. That not many people get so much involved that they grind the game as much. I don't know even how to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a while back, Scopos entered this in a video about how he felt against going against hackers. And he said, I mean, hack teams, he said something I really agree with, that when you're facing an Elite 7 medal team, that's fine, because it forces you to get better, to make better teams, to make stronger teams. But when you're going against people who are BR hacking, then it's just unfair. And then it used to be that they just got more battle rating per match or something like that. But now it's literally they type in a number and they get that amount of BR. There's no fun in it at all. And there's one thing ruining the game for yourself, because you have all the characters and have no more sense of progression. It's no longer fun for yourself. But it's another thing to just ruin the whole game for everyone out of spite.
I think I only had like one big encounter where I actually noticed that I was playing against a hacker. The guy had Tanto Totem, Astro Harness, and Master's Death card on all 3 characters in the defense team, and I think I even managed to win. It's a shame that I didn't record it because it was long ago. But when I know, like, I didn't even manage to look at his gear setups before the game, because I noticed it's like 450 gear level, and I thought, okay, it's gonna be tough, I guess. But then I saw the second character walk in with the Astro Harness, and I thought something's wrong here. But yeah,
does it actually work in game?
Yeah. I mean, all of them had a second bar of power on the Tekken, and all of them had Astro Harness. Basically it.
Man, that's crazy. Never knew it worked.
I think I have a screenshot, but I don't have a video. So.
I mean, I thought it was the same. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I thought it was the same as like the hackers who use boss Ares.
Yeah, I never encountered that.
Yeah, because it doesn't work. It's just a bronze flash or something.
Yeah, I think it was bronze flash. Yeah, it was, but it was very creative to use the sprite for boss Ares. To be honest, I really liked. It was the only hack team that I liked because you saw an aspect of the game you weren't supposed to see normally.
Clearly, like Ares a lot.
Yeah. Who would have thought, right? But talking about all these hackers got me thinking back, and I think maybe not my favorite moment, but my most memorable moment of the community is when the BR hackers were still around, and the community from Reddit and Discord got together, and they actually edited the top 10 leaderboard that should have been on that season.
That was MG. He used to do that. He's got a program for it still, but I mean, he hasn't been online recently. I think he's got a website or something where it shows the legit top 10.
What does he not have? What is going on?
I mean, he's a programmer.
Somewhere in the spreadsheets, it might even be like, I don't know, in the like challenge cycle spreadsheets, something. I saw it surely somewhere. Don't know where really.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, but it's not the same. I mean, I can admit that it's not the same as just actually getting the rewards
in the game.
Actually getting it, yeah, in game. But if I can flex my #1 spot on everyone, what's the point?
Yeah. And I mean, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
I mean, it's a little comment to be fair. Recently, when there was what it was, Flashpoint Deathstroke challenge, I actually was really scared that I'm gonna fall out of top 1%, which I grinded for. I even like stood up in the middle of the street trying to get my final battle rating to get to like guaranteed 1%. And at this moment, it just came to me that like there are actually probably hackers battling between each other to ruin the days for the people who actually grind, because we do not know how many hackers are there, right? We only see like 10 probably, right? But the amount of legit people that get pushed out of good rewards because of the people who hack, because you can hack as many accounts as you want, right? There's no like time limit to it. That's just sad.
It's usually about, I mean, the most I've seen, probably about 50 accounts.
But that's still like 50 spots for people who
that's a lot for top 1%.
Imagine if you got like 1.8 million battle rating and you miss out on top 1% because of something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you might quit the game after this, to be fair.
I had a question for you. You told me that you had some interesting takes. So that made me wonder, what's your most controversial Injustice take?
Actually, like, I touched on it a bit before, and I wanted to go a little more in depth on how I build the account, how I managed to, like, I don't know, to promote my characters and all that. And I've already said that I do not go by the normal unbalanced Scopus build type of account, as I want to use my characters equally in any setup that I would possibly want to. So, for example, characters that are Justice League characters and at the same time have their own like universe team, like Flashpoint, for example, Batman, right? He's a Justice League member, and he's Flashpoint. I would want to use them in different setups throughout time, and someone like Batman Ninja Batman, obviously he is a good support, and you guys, I think a lot of you use him as a way to like increase crit damage, obviously, and maybe tank in a tank setup. But he's also a good character by himself for like DOT and SP2. So my view on how I promote characters currently is by the book of MG. right? So I tried to calculate stats for each character to at which promotion and obviously level, but level you can't control, would they have a certain amount of stats for me to stop promoting them. So I plan eventually to have all of my characters on the level of like 110, 115 to 120k stats, all equal, like to an extent that you can make them equal, obviously, and basically be able to use any of them in any combinations that I want. That's my perspective on it. And as well as that, a little additional thing that I want to put here, that I do not buy health, the what you call it, the support cards for alliance credits. I think the same goes for MG, and only buy damage cards to make the split between damage and health on all my characters a bit more towards the damage.
Yeah, I mean that's what we preach as well.
Yeah, but yeah.
So yeah, that's common sense.
I actually have a board near me that I do not have spreadsheets like K-Real, like MG. I'm more old-fashioned in that sense. I actually have pieces of paper attached by magnets to a whiteboard, in which I wrote all of the characters and all of the elites and stats level that I want to promote them to, which looks like I'm planning a heist or something.
Yeah. Is that that meme of the red tape?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's dedication, man. Putting that over in your room. Yeah. I mean, it's I can see how that's. Can see the thought process behind it.
Yeah.
You really have freedom to make every team you can, and you don't really need to worry about making a mistake.
I'm no MP grinder, and I never had an experience of reaching like high MP levels, especially because, as we mentioned, it's going to be frustrating to see people who clearly hack above you. That's why I try to keep my mental state safe. But I'm more casual. I want to grab enjoyment from the game, to enjoy game in that sense, to be able to use whatever characters in whatever combinations I can, kind of. And I wanted to add as well that the collecting aspect of the game cannot be ignored, because actually probably all of us, we had some collection in our childhood, like Pokemon or something. And for me, trying to get like all of the characters at least to a decent promotion is a goal as well.
Yeah, some people just go for the collection's sake, like Aiden123, also a regular on the used to be a regular on the podcast. He's completed his collection, every character Elite 10, level 60, and medals all max Elite 7.
He actually did it?
Yeah.
What?
Crazy.
Was there rare characters as well? I mean, he probably put
everyone
into the game, no?
No, he's fully brave as far as we know.
Yeah.
And how about the rare characters like Threats and Deathstroke and
them too, everyone.
These characters weren't rare.
I mean, how?
Even the bronzes, and he's playing for like 10 years.
Yeah, it was fair. Yeah, there were so many packs, so it was like pretty common to have Deathstroke at a high level. That's why the only characters I think he was missing was like 1 or 2 medals, and I think Blackest Night the Flash, because he sold. I think he was the one that sold 3 copies of Blackest Night the Flash for the memes. Not sure.
Could be, yeah. A psycho move.
Yeah, it was a power move actually. He was flexing on us more.
Yeah. He didn't think he could. You know, none of you could.
Imagine seeing him online with a full metal team. You're gonna think he was hacking.
Yeah.
That's actually, you can probably know about if he's hacking or not, but by clicking on his profile and seeing that he's probably got 20k games or something.
I mean, yeah,
more probably. Yeah.
I mean, that's a guess.
I think he's in like top 100 of all time total battle rating.
We can actually. Can we check that?
How do we check that?
Yeah, there was.
I'm not in game and I'm on Android, so that's probably on you.
I mean, I'm just gonna claim it. We'll check it. The editor will check it. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The top spots, from what I can see, are all taken by hackers, unfortunately. But
Yeah. What's new?
yeah, he probably is in the actual top 100. I personally am in the top 15,000.
Wow.
Yeah, such an achievement. I don't.
Very impressive.
Thank you. You should take an example from me.
I'm only in the. Let's check. I'm 134.
Yeah,
Not
if
even
you
in top
think-
100. Pathetic.
Oh yeah, but top 10 and probably even more spots are taken by hackers, so you probably should be in the top 100 as well.
I used to be.
Well,
I think I used to be, but then
Yeah.
something happened.
Then I got
obviously.
old.
That's just nice because you push each other. You know, all of the great rivalries, they come from two greats or like multiple, I guess, in that sense, pushing each other to high limits.
Exactly. Yeah. I think competition is the. I mean, at least for me, it was the main driving factor.
Yep.
Aiden, who we just talked about, that was the first guy I went against on a multiplayer.
I think I actually heard of it from one of the podcasts you did before.
Yeah, I might have talked about it. It's been a long
Sorry.
time. Okay.
Yeah, we've probably mentioned it quite a few times. Yeah, and every time one of our we formed some a sort of a community, right? So we're all friends, and whenever one of us went up against each other, we used to just screenshot it and just send it, and we just all laugh together. But I've unfortunately lost all my screenshots, but hopefully somebody else has them.
I still have the screenshots, and my iPhone storage is very full.
Mine isn't even half full, and I just delete. I went on a massive deleting spree like a year ago, and it's unfortunate that I didn't think to save the screenshots.
Yeah, that's a shame. But I mean, you have the memories.
Some things that you save in your gallery, you just never know when it's going to be useful again.
Yeah.
Just go through them, look at them. Oh man, I might need this sometime.
Sometimes I'm
Then
talking to
just
someone.
never delete it.
Go ahead.
It's a way to remember the good old times of the community, because when COVID hit, the community was like at its peak, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, it was the most amount of fun anybody had. So it's a sort of a reminder to you that whoa, maybe quarantine wasn't that bad after all, because we made all those memories in the game and the community.
It's really about the friends you made along the way.
It's
Jeez,
not about the goal,
yeah.
it's about destination. Wait, I said something wrong. It's not about the destination; it's about the way that you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Don't forget to enjoy the road. I think.
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
meant. Yeah.
But I mean, I still have the images saved. So when I'm talking to someone in the maybe in the Scopus server, I'm trying to prove a point, and I'm like, I know 1.5 years ago I made a screenshot of this sometime. And I scroll back for like 5 minutes. Then I got it perfect proof. I got one.
You're the guy that pulls out the screenshots for proof from when your friends were fighting, or when you're trying to prove that they said something they're claiming they didn't.
No, just for my own game, like defense matches.
Let me check my April screenshots. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
Last year in February in the Blackest Night season, I remember getting this back.
Yeah.
Always keep all of the receipts.
Yeah, MG really keeps track of this. I think Keywiz does as well. They really keep a sheet of what they do.
What's exciting, what's like amazing to me, that I think K-Reels spread. I mean, probably MGs too. they had day-by-day plan of what they did for like 300 days. Like each day, just everything, survivor runs, energy used, packs opened. That's just insane to me.
How can you
So
play
much dedication.
Survivor every day, finish it every day, and then
Not
have the energy
that,
to make a sheet
obviously.
about it?
But put all of the things, because I bet he spent a lot of time playing, and then some part of the, like a good part of the same time to put it all into the spreadsheet. Like how to get so much time into the day? Probably he was waiting for the survivor to recharge, right? And that time he didn't waste.
Yeah,
Put it into good use.
that's true. I'm wondering, because what stage of the game would you describe yourself as being in?
I'm like good mid tier, I guess, because I have a lot of characters that would be able to complete me the whole story, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have enough gears to do it because I'm missing many multiplayer gears. Like I obviously have like totem. I recently got the scimitar. I actually opened only 11 packs. That was incredibly lucky. I was so happy that I got the scimitar because I didn't have the Master's Death card, so I had no option of getting second power quickly. Now I do. It's really helpful for farming as well as getting battle rating. But I don't have stuff like Ibistic, Quake Engine, um, the Master's Death card I don't have,
Right.
and the Heart of Darkness. I think just the main 4 things that come into mind that I want to have.
Do you have Claw Horus?
Yeah, I do have Claw Horus. It was after Tanto Totem, right? So, or even before. No, it was before Tanto Totem. So when I started my account, it was 5 weeks. I checked it. So I had 5 weeks to prepare for Tanto Totem season, which I did, and I got the totem. And then it was a bit easier, I guess.
Yeah,
planning
a lot faster.
in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you spend most time on when you're playing the game? Because you told me you're not really that big into multiplayer.
I mean, I'm trying to get as many characters. Obviously, in my videos, I spent like 1 to 2 million, like couple of days to get the characters that I want. Recently, so I mean, I'm grinding BB6, right, for that.
Yeah.
And as many survivor runs as I can. That's the main goals for now. It's the Batmobile season, so there's not that much interest for me in getting high, like top 1% or something. I will get the 1 copy for the collection, but it's obviously useless. All of us know. Not technically not useless. I'm gonna just. It's a joke. All of the Batmobiles enjoyers play with it. I won't.
So many people you've
yeah.
disappointed just now.
They probably have their own community of 1.5.
Yeah. Huge subreddits devoted to.
So yeah, most of the time I try to get as many survivor runs. Obviously, really useful for Nth, metal, and the cards, the augments.
Yeah.
And like as many coins as I can, because like it's exhausting for me to. I nearly threw up after I grinded to 1.6, I think, million. I was so burned out during the Flashpoint Deathstroke season. It was my first top 1% on the account I'm playing now. So I think I stopped even in the multiplayer for a couple of days before returning to secure my top 1% in the end of the season.
How long do your matches take for you to like throw up after 1.6 million?
I don't know, man. I think I calculated that I'd have to play to 300 or 400 a day, right? To get myself to 2 million.
Yeah.
Approximately. But it's tough because, as I've said already, you have only as much time in a day to do everything that you have to do and to get enough time to farm credits, because like you still need credits, right, to promote the characters and all that, and get enough MP rating to achieve high ranks. It's just tough. Not much time left to to switch off Injustice, because after you it's one of the games that after you switch off the actual game, you still keep thinking of how I can maybe optimize the way I play, what other gear setups
Exactly.
like what is the next character that I'm going to get.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm waiting for the boss and I'm thinking like, wait a minute, I know a perfect build for Ares.
Another perfect build for Ares, right?
Yeah, but it never works.
Gnawing away at your mind.
Sometimes I haven't thought about Injustice for like a month, and then I'm just sitting around and thinking like, wait a minute, if I made a defense team with this one, this one, this one.
Can't relate, unfortunately, but it's funny.
I actually, the recent season, the one that we're playing now, I actually got many defense battle wins without even putting effort into it. So I just left like Hawkgirl, Luchador Bane, and Rebirth Raven, and they won a lot of games for me. I mean, not a lot, not considerable amount, but still a big percentage of matches against me were my wins.
Impressive.
Yeah, it's probably a good setup. Like, it's annoying to play against, obviously. Luchador Bane and Rebirth Raven. They steal and they hit hard.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah. I mean, if you come out against the player who is clueless.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're playing against defense against someone who knows what they're doing, then you've already lost.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
It's just a matter of catching as many people.
That, you do not know how many battles of defense you actually get, because people could just quit.
Yeah.
Like, if they get annoyed with your team or something.
Yeah, so my philosophy with defense teams is it's got to be a balance between surviving and finishing the match as quick as possible, so people don't have the time to quit.
Yep. I think they could even quit after they get like the lost screen. Don't know how to describe it. Like, you can press pause after your last character is already dead and still leave. Which I do not want to give any tips to players that don't want to do that, because it's not quite fair, but I think it works still.
I mean, just giving people the win. It's just I think it's a very smart thing.
I think yeah, it's nice for someone who actually built a team in defense that works.
Anyway, is there anything you'd like to talk about still?
Actually, like off-topic kind of question, but sure. God of Gods actually answered it. I think to some extent. Like, is there a character? Because I've been thinking lately, is there a character or like a character skin, certain skin, that you like more than others? Like, that is your favorite because of their appearance, like maybe like the details in their costume or something, not because of how good they actually are in game.
I'm glad you asked. Do you want to know the answer to your question?
That's why I asked it.
Can you imagine? Can you guess what my answer will be?
I mean, already. Probably, yeah.
Well, my favorite is Ares. Who would have thought? Once again, and well, the other one is probably Flashpoint, Batman, and Reverse Flash. Those three are probably my favorite ones. Well, Reverse Flash, because I mean, who doesn't like Reverse Flash?
I actually wanted to. Okay.
Yeah. Batman, because like he's my best character throughout my whole career. Actually, he was always my best character, so I've grown attached to him. And there is, because I mean, come on, he's there.
Come on.
What more do you need? What more do you need?
It's got that cool animations of dealing the critical blows. He's glowing red and stuff.
Yeah, that's also a big part. Yeah, he grows red, and
because he was the first one I maxed on all stats. So I did damage, health, crit damage, and crit chance. He always glows red, so I just love him.
You've got that aura.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd like the Red Lantern then.
I mean, yeah, he's also a good option, but I've almost never used him because I've got so many other characters that I prefer to use because he's like kind of uncomfortable to use because his specialty is kind of well, it kind of sucks if we're being honest.
Deals not much damage.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. So it kind of put me off.
I would like to use him one day as a gear shatterer because he doesn't need power, right? You can just spam SP1s and with the Enchantress and Claw, just destroy gears.
Yeah,
for free.
That works. I've used him as a support quite often. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of health. Like if you, I think I've put it in the tier list that he's very good if you use him with something like Batman Ninja's helmet, because he's always got the 3 bars, and if you don't use the bars, right, he's always got the health and the protection, I guess.
Yeah.
Does he count for Shazam's New 52? Because he doesn't count for Jessica Cruz. I don't think.
Red Lantern and Hal Jordan, right?
Yep.
He does count. For Shazam.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that. I have an unpopular opinion though.
Go ahead.
New 52 Nightwing, his skin character is it doesn't suck, okay? It's fine. I don't know why everybody hates his like a red mark on his chest. It's a good skin. I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like for a character that's been around for as long as he has been around, he's really like pretty nice. Because some of the characters that have been around that are prime characters, right? They're kind of vanilla, right? And he's not. He's got that flair a bit about him.
Yeah.
Everybody hates on his skin, but I like it. I don't know. Fight me, okay?
You know what skin I really like?
Not yet.
Injustice 2 Superman. I think it looks cool, but he looks so buff, and he is the most high stat card in the game, and he looks like it. He looks
all
like
of the
jacked.
Superman cards. Yeah, they look like Giga Chad because he's like he's not afraid of anything, right? He's the strongest. He's the invulnerable, apparently, right?
Yeah.
He's the Man of Steel, and like the way they put his animations is that he's just open for them. Like, come attack me, I do not care. And especially when you use specials against him whilst he's under the shield, he's just standing there. He doesn't care. You know that your specials would deal like a lot of damage to him, and he just doesn't care. I mean, but it's only visual, because if you play against him in the right way, it just shield just disappears. I'm sorry for swearing.
I'd say the worst skins are probably Raven Regime. Maybe Martian Manhunter Prime. He's also kind of like wacky.
I'll take Batman Angel or Joker. I think that's the stupidest skin.
Yeah.
I wanted
to say more cartoonish, right? Because they were taking straight out the animated movie, and it was literally cartoons. their appearances, right? So,
but it's like half the game. That's most of them.
I would say that the Batman Beyond animated looks much more stupid than those characters you mentioned, because he's so cartoonish. They didn't put like many pixels on his model. But you actually mentioned the Lord Joker. I think the character model that I like the most is Batman Ninja Batman. He's so interesting. It doesn't look like he's Batman. Obviously, he's got the the ears and the logo, but he's got the beard. He's got that katana. It just doesn't look like and these weird armor on his legs, like the Japanese style. Do not know how it's called. It just looks like something merged, or which it actually is, right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
two different worlds, and it just looks cool. The beard, like,
Yeah, a side note. I don't think this is a beard. I think it's part of the costume because if you take a look, his like hat or the thing around his mask, I don't know what to call it. That thing also has the feathers, I did say. I'm not sure what it is, but it's not exclusive to his chin, so I don't think it's beard.
well,
Unfortunately.
it's more depth to him, right? We don't even know what it is. It just looks, yeah, it probably is like a scarf or something.
It's his trump card.
Yeah.
We're getting too much into the lore here. It's I don't think that's it's meant to be looked into that deep.
My actual like favorite character that I like the most out of the characters is is Raven, but all of her skins are kinda lame, to be fair. They're not great.
don't tell that to Plasma.
Actually, like that's a segue that I wanted to make because I used Teen Titans Raven quite a lot on this account. She's augmented for crits and all that, and I was curious of what is the Teen Titans like, and I watched the animated movie that like Teen Titans Against the Justice League or something, and in the lore of that movie, she's 16 years old. Then you take a look at her appearance in the game, and you cannot say that she's 16 years old, right? She's just not. She's more like 40, or she's burned out by whatever she's doing, you know, by the demons. That's just kind of. But yeah, the thing that I wanted to say, like for you, it's again a bit of casual thought, but are you more interested in fighting while you came to Injustice, or were you interested in DC, and that's how you discovered Injustice?
Well, I started with DC because I was pretty young when I just thought superheroes are cool, and then I came back to it because I just played it a lot and got good in it. Then it became fun. Then I just came back because I was good in it and it was fun to make the builds. But the fighting isn't really fun for me. And the characters I don't really care about anymore. So.
Fair. Because
I think
for me, okay, go on.
you can go ahead.
Oh, I mean that's a privilege for me here. So, for example, when I started, I of course knew that all of those universes that the characters were tagged by, you know, the Red Sun, the Flashpoint, whatever, that there were comics about them. But when I actually got like really into playing, I was very interested in like what even is like the Red Sun, because you can guess by their appearance, right, what the story is about.
It's not very subtle, the communism logo.
Yeah, fair. Or a Flashpoint. I mean, I haven't watched the Flash movie because it's not out for us. Shame. But like I watched the animated movie and it put a lot of things into place. Like, why the hell is Batman so angry? Because it's not actually the Batman that we all know. It just sparks a bit more interest. You know, it's like an advanced, what you call it, the advanced reality or something that merges into your life, maybe into your interest in media.
Never thought about it that way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd say most people have probably just played it when they were young. That's the case for me as well. And they either made a return with the quarantine and all of those things, and Scopus, because he was really active at that time. That's what brought me back as well, Scopus. Or they're just like having a nostalgia trip and they just downloaded it for like a week or two and they're playing short term. That's in my experience, that's like 90% of the fan base of the game that's still active or that was active a year ago.
Yeah, you can count the people who still play on one hand. On one finger,
Well,
really. That's basically just Aiden.
Many fingers.
when you say like that.
Yeah, but people actually forget that there is a storyline to the Injustice story as well, right? That there is like a console game. I never played none of the games actually. None the Injustice 2, the Arkham Knight games, but I watched like the cutscenes, which I was really interested to what's going on. Like, why is the appearance of some characters different, right? Why is there no Arkham Knight Joker?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but you'll know it.
I know. Play the games.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played them, so I didn't know.
Yeah, but
So,
I
yeah,
mean,
there's,
there's
like-
multiple characters. They just could add a few of them, not all.
But that was their way, because the game was hot once it released, right? Like back in 2013, 2014, whatever. It was like really good by the standards of that time, but it's obviously was their way, like WB, whatever, to promote their other work, right? To put those characters with certain skins, and make them good characters as well, for people to, I guess, take a look and think like, what's that Arkham Knight thing? Why didn't I hear about it more? Maybe research it and.
I think the Arkham Knight games are way more popular than Injustice.
Fair, but I think the point still stands.
Yeah, I
For
get your
me,
point.
it was
Like
a discovery of from the game universe. I was not interested in the game itself before I knew about the plot and from Injustice, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good way for them to tie it all together. Tying it all together. I think we should end.
Suicide.
Hmm?
Yeah, I wanted to just mention, like, the obvious thing is Suicide Squad challenges. They are so ludicrous for especially like beginning players, and they still are after so much time.
Yeah, I remember when that movie came out.
Yeah, that they tried to promote it in such way.
And it's still one of the best challenges because of that.
We're praying for him.
Yeah.
To baby Tayo.
It's not me this time, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah, I had a good time discussing.
Thanks for just your response, because I didn't think at first. I was really scared. I thought they're gonna reject me. They're not gonna accept me coming on. But big thanks. I hope that everyone got their little something from the podcast, and the listeners are gonna enjoy it. Hopefully.
Thank you for watching. God of Gods. You want to say bye?
Yeah, I will see you guys. I don't know if there's going to be a next one, but see you guys in the next one.
We say that now, but in like a week, someone else is going to be on or something.
Yeah, I imagine.
Spark the interest.
Yeah, we just we try to get out, but we keep getting dragged back in.
Yeah.
Once you go in, you never escape.
Exactly. You never go back. Anyway, Thank you for watching or listening. Bye.